This is the Agnihotra lady broadcasting live at Shantidee Institute. And we're at the location in Conyers, Georgia, Shantidee, Atlanta. So welcome to the show this evening. And tonight's topic is a really good topic. All the topics are good topics, but it's called The New Economy is a Spiritual Economy. So as you know, we teach the ancient Ayurvedic wisdom of Agnihotra, which is an Ayurvedic process that heals, purifies the environment, and you, as human beings, when you perform Agnihotra, this is a way for you to bring about healing for yourself. And so there are a lot of headlines talking about violence happening in different pockets in the United States as well as other places in around the world. And I wanted to talk about what needs to happen for people to get some sort of peace and tranquility. And I had written about this after meditating several months ago, and then I came back to what I talked about. Well, what I wrote in my notes, talking with some people that come here for meditation and things like that. So it's really important to understand that no matter what is going on, that there is a way to deal with all these things. And so traditionally, this economy here in the United States, this is where I live. I'm American. I live in the United States. Is based upon what type of job you have, how much money you're making, and a lot of people are talking about grab the bag. You have to make the bag. You have to make money. And so now we have a lot of serious incidences with people that are homeless, not just short-term homelessness, but long-term homelessness. And it's very disheartening when I drive by Family Dollar and Dollar Tree and the AutoZone, and I see young people, okay, that are homeless. Okay, they need food, they don't have proper clothing and things like that. So, and even for people that are not homeless in a homeless shelter on the street, you have people that have been kicked out. I mean, every other day in one of the Facebook groups that I'm part of, where they do a lot of positive things in there, these business people are saying that they are seeing whole entire families with young children, with a mother that works a decent job, but they cannot afford rent. Okay, they can't afford rent. And they're on the street with young children. So we have to come to an understanding of what is an economy. What is an economy for society? How do we take care of each other, our brothers and sisters, and be able to put food on a plate, have housing, have people that are not suicidal and full of despair? So we have to get into a new awareness of a spiritual economy. And this is an economy that is based on love. And I've talked about many times that love is the highest vibration on the planet. The entire planet survives on the vibration of love. And so now with all this bickering, we have people fighting about the various wars happening. We have homelessness and joblessness and things like that. We cannot ignore each other anymore. Okay, we're never to ignore each other anyway, because we're brothers and sisters. Okay, and so in the spiritual economy, we have people now that are paying attention to other people, whether it be their neighbors. Someone said in this group I mentioned previously, there are homeless people living in the woods behind these people's homes in a nice neighborhood. So you cannot ignore the crying of your brothers and your sisters. Okay, so we have to come to this understanding that things are getting worse, but this is the time for us to go deeper within to figure out ways in which we can help our brothers and sisters. So this is the new spiritual economy. We don't need to talk anymore about how much money, how big of a house we have. If your brother or sister is living on the street, then there's no way you can be rejoicing about whatever money that you have. Taxes are out of hand. We have rents have gone up. People are just getting kicked out because they have no money to afford just to live. And I've talked about this before, where I've seen people, young people on TikTok, crying, tears coming down their face, saying that they cannot afford to be alive. And that is not what Mother, Father, God, the Creator, intended for us. Some of us to live well, and then some of us to be faltering by the wayside. So this is a time for those of us that are spiritually anchored to extend our hands and to help bring about sharing the understanding to other people, but that may not have the level of understanding that we have. This is also the time that, and we've talked about this continually, that we need to start buying land together. Got to buy land, and then have entire families, multiple families buying land, living and working the land together. And when we do this, then we can grow our own food, healthy food that's not filled with all these chemicals. And then we can create our own economy where we're self-sufficient. We're growing food, okay? And we're bartering with each other for the things that we can't afford to buy. This is the spiritual economy, where we're not just thinking about ourselves. We're thinking about ways to give to each other. And so with Agnihotra, which is what we teach here at Shantidee Institute, we're always talking about not taking so much from the earth, not taking so much, but giving back to the earth. So when we're talking about a spiritual economy, the new economy is about giving to the soil, making sure that our soil is healthy, that we have healthy plants, that the food is healthy, that we take in our bodies for sustenance. Okay, we are talking about giving to the land. We can take, but in appreciation and the way to keep things balanced, you always give more than you take. So all indigenous cultures have known this for many, many centuries, whether it be the Native Americans, the indigenous Africans, people that live out of the world. But in the modern world, somehow we have forgotten this essential principle, and it's an eternal principle. Eternal principles, they are, well, the word eternal, they exist eternally. So no matter what philosophy, religion you practice, whatever, there's certain things that have to be in place for us to be able to flourish on earth as a nation, as a society. So we have to go back to communal living together. Okay, we cannot go off and live far away from our families and our loved ones, because it's simply too expensive. And for us to survive, we have to come back together. Okay, so if this mindset of helping and giving and working together, and we all do this, this will bring about the new spiritual economy, not one based on greed and envy and selfishness and being attached to material things. Because what happens to your brother or sister, it affects you directly. Jesus said, love your brother or sister like you love yourself. Okay? And we've come back to that. So when we are talking about all these things with the economy, you understand that you understand the economy of yourself, who you are as an individual. What are you here on the planet for? What is your higher purpose? Taking care of the planet, taking care of your neighbors, okay? The senior citizens, people in the grocery store that you see that may need food and things like that. This is what we're talking about. So it's been foretold many centuries ago about the things that are happening to the planet now. And so this is part of the awakening of the entire human race to get back to the eternal principles, which brings about the balance for the planet. No longer can greed be prevailing upon the planet, because greed is what destroys everything. You get everything that you need and you're so greedy. That is not how the planet operates. Just look at nature, how nature works. Nature has an ebb and a flow, a rise and a fall. So it can continue to provide abundantly for everybody, for all the animals and the insects. And so what I want to touch upon briefly, I don't want to make this too long of a Facebook Live, is that understand that the vibration of the planet is off. They have been reporting continually about the Earth's tilt is off, but we've known about this way before the 70s, the 1970s. So you're talking about Earth's tilt is off, the Earth is spinning faster, we have electromagnetic pollution. All of this affects the vibration of the planet. And so you will hear about all of this affecting everything in the animal kingdom, the man, microbes, flora, fauna kingdom. So from insects to animals, everything's affected by the vibration. This pollution that we have going on, we have all sorts of pollution. So with the electromagnetic pollution, okay, that means everything on the planet is affected. The electrical system, we are electric beings, we're human beings, everything's electric on the planet. So that means the very food that we're growing, aside from the glyphosate and all these other things that we spray, the way that the sun interacts with the plants are not getting nutrients. So now everything that depends on the plants, the soil, is off. So insect behavior is changed. Animal behavior is changed. And of course, we are animals too. So our behavior is changed too. So now we're hearing every week about some mass shooting. That's because we're breathing in 2,500 gallons of air in a 24-hour period. And think about what's happening to your mind when you're breathing in poisonous air. So if the insects, their behavior is affected, the animal behavior, what do you think is supposed to happen to us? We're eating low vibrational food. Okay. And so this affects our thought patterns. Not to mention for those of us that have PTSD, okay, or other traumas, then we're even more fragile. The air is tainted from the pollution that we humans have produced. So now I believe someone told me that some businesses, they're told that they can roll out the 10G. That's also affecting the electromagnetic balance of our planet. So that the 5G, and what he said, it was, and it's not funny. He says, well, what happened to the 6, 7, 8, 9G? We wouldn't jump into 10G. That affects the vibration. Remember, I said earlier that, and I've often said that love is the highest vibration. So what do you think is happening if we're vibrating low? The earth is vibrating low. And now you're hearing about all these mass shootings. Okay, and I've often said, if you look in the faces of some of the people when they are arrested, if they don't kill themselves, they look dazed. Just look at them. Look at some of the pictures. They look dazed. So these incidents will continue because we're not paying attention what's happening with the planet. And the electromagnetic integrity of the planet is off because we got all these satellites. We got all these radio towers and all these things. And now you're talking about 10G. You're not supposed to be having any 10 or 5. We're not supposed to have any of that. It affects your DNA. It destroys your DNA. But we have a solution. So with Agnihotra and the process that we have been talking about for many, many, many years, myself, Sri Charles, Mama Harriet, Master Vasant, Paramasaguru Sri Gajana Maharaj, many people that have been teaching Agnihotra for many years, we've been talking about the way to bring about a balance to the planet. So Agnihotra, and I don't have a fire going tonight because I have a different setup, but we do it, perform it in a copper pyramid. So we're talking about ancient alchemy. This is what it looks like. We use dried cow dung, we use brown rice, and we use ghee. And let me let you see what the dried cow dung looks like. Okay, so these are the basic ingredients. And so what happens, we chant Sanskrit mantras, and we do it at sunrise and sunset. And so there is a beautiful music that happens during these times. So in the morning, you have the cascading effect of these energies, ethers and electricities that envelop the planet, because there's an interaction with the copper pyramid and the sun and the solar system. Okay? And the effects go 8 miles up, 2-mile radius. Okay? This is the basic Ayurvedic practice of Agnihotra. In the evening, those energies, ethers, and electricities, they recede. Okay? So you have a 24-hour cycle. Okay? So the first part of that cycle is at sunrise. The second part of that cycle is at sunset. So we're talking about ancient Vedic science. So this is science. So you have to understand is that we're come to the point now where modern science and religion will merge back to what it really was to begin with. So science, in the modern sense, explains all the physical things on this planet. And you have all these experiments and data that you collect. However, when you connect with God, okay, that is a study of what is happening with yourself inwardly, your relation to the planet, and what God is doing in the subtle realm, the spiritual realm. So at some point, those things will merge back together. They were never supposed to be separated. We weren't supposed to be men that knew all this scientific technology, but did not understand ourselves on the inside. That is not true science. So now we're going to come back to the point where everything merges back into the true eternal principles of living. Okay? So in conclusion, we would just like to say that all these things that are happening, please come together. Live in one household together. We got to have the grandmas, the grandpas, the mothers, the children, cousins, everybody living together. Grow food. Grow your own food without chemicals so you can heal your body. Grow you some garlic, some turmeric, and things like that. You see me posting all the time where, I had some baby ginger for sale. I'm growing turnips and kale and carrots and all these things. So you have to grow your own food. Control your food supply. And then bartering. And I've talked about this before. What you can't pay for, offer something in exchange that your neighbor has. This is the new economy, the spiritual economy. That's not about consumerism or taking. You have your hands out to give. This is the new economy, the spiritual economy. And I see so many people, young people, older people, that are now talking about this. And even more importantly, they're showing the actions, they're demonstrating this new spiritual economy. So for those of us that are doing Agnihotra, continue to teach other people about Agnihotra. Okay, Agnihotra is a solution to get the planet back in balance. It restores soil. It cleanses the air. It cleanses the water. And if you want to look at some of my previous YouTube videos, Facebook Lives, where I explain Agnihotra, I won't go into more details about that because I really wanted to talk about the spiritual economy. So we need to get away from excessive consumerism. We don't need all this stuff to be happy and just to live. Think of ways in which you can do things together to help your brothers and sisters. Okay? That is the spiritual economy. Do the things that have you go inward, where you work on yourself, where you forgive yourself, where you forgive others, where you have compassion. Okay, you're not attached. You don't have expectations. Okay, you're not lustful. And you're in this state of understanding what your neighbor is going through. This is the new spiritual economy. Okay. So the next activity that we're going to be doing, we're going to be in Conyers, we're going to be doing a homeless bag giveaway on November the 18th at 3 p.m. I'm part of a business group called, I believe it's called Decatur, Stonecrest, Lithonia, Conyers. It's a business group. And so a lot of people in that group are very giving. So some of us will be doing, assembling homeless care bags and handing them out at some of the gas stations and the places where I know some of our homeless brothers and sisters are. But you can choose to do these things in your area. You can choose to do all sorts of things. Okay. If you have an extra room available for someone that's just been put out, you know, a young mother with children or whatever, and if you can offer some help, do that. If you can help someone help get a job, please do that. It's about not just volunteering with money, but also volunteering with your time. A loving smile, a loving heart can be felt from a great distance. Okay? And if you need some help, please reach out. Our website is shantivillainstitute.com, and the email is shantivillainstitute@gmail.com. That's SHANTI. And thanks for listening to the message that we had to share this evening. And what I'll probably do is do a couple of more Facebook lives because I miss doing a longer format talk. Like I said, TikTok is I can only talk for 10 minutes, and that's okay. My family was saying, oh yeah, the younger people will be on there. Get on TikTok. And it's okay, but I miss being able to do a longer talk. Okay, so be blessed. Know that you are loved. I love you. And be happy, healthy, and make sure that you pass along your love and kindness to others. And I will talk to you the next time. Have a wonderful evening.